Welcome to the Japan Business Show. My name is Eric Ahona, and today we're talking with Yuki Osugi. Yuki is a sales area manager for a German medical equipment manufacturer in Japan, and I'm very happy to have him today in the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, Yuki, tell us a bit about yourself. What is your background? What is your international experience, and what has led you to become a sales manager for a German medical equipment company?
Okay. I'm currently working for the Japanese branch of German medical equipment manufacturer. When I was on an exchange program in Hanover, Germany, 15 years ago, I met a nice guy who spoke perfect Japanese and had a great sense of humor. His name was Eric. It's you. And after graduating from university in Japan, I also studied in Berlin. However, I realized that it was very difficult to make a living as an artist. So I decided to work in Japan. It was not an easy decision at all. But I told myself that I had to do it is in order to survive. I kept thinking that if I was going to work for a company, I would have to find a job that had nothing to do with art. So my first company was a local pharmaceutical company. And next, I moved to a medical equipment manufacturer that had a sales department because I like talking to people. And then I moved to my current company to improve my career.
Very interesting. And I think also, especially when we think about Japan and Japanese economy, it's and how usually people decide on careers where people are rather conservative. You have a very interesting background in going into art first, but then completely switching. And as you just mentioned, that it was not easy for you. I think it was must have been a very difficult decision because I assume your passion was still there for creating art and being creative, but you realized that for being financially stable, you needed a business related job. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
And what was the reason? Have you tried in the beginning to be an artist but could not be successful? Or what was the final reason for you to say, okay, I'm going to stop looking for any artist related work and focus on getting into the corporate, the business world in Japan?
So yes, I continue to think about making art, but so the first reason was so just living. Yes, it's a big reasons for me. And in my so when I walked in my hometown, there are no art.
Let me ask you, where are you from in Japan? I know from
It's from Tokushima, which is smaller city, and
that's Shikoku, right?
yes,
Yes.
right.
So that's the smallest of the four main islands of Japan. Okay. So would you say, I mean, Tokushima is still a big city, but was it more countryside compared to Tokyo?
Yes, it's much smaller than Tokyo. We've only, I think, the population is how many? So much smaller.
Is it smaller than Hanover?
Yes, much smaller.
Okay. Okay. So maybe around 200,000, something like that.
200, 200. No, eight.
20万.
80万
Oh no, that's bigger. That's bigger than Hanover.
Yes.
That's 800,000. That's not that small. That's close to a million. But I understand it felt small to you. So tell me then, you realized that there was no opportunity for you in Tokushima, and so what did you do next? Did you move to Osaka or and to the next biggest city or to Tokyo? What was your next step?
Yes, I wanted to work in as a sales department in medical company. And when I worked in Tokushima, there are no sales department and pharmaceutical company. That's why I looked for the sales department to Osaka.
And so you moved to Osaka, and are you currently still living in Osaka?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So did you ever work for the current company you were mentioning? It's a German medical equipment manufacturer. Did you work for them in Germany as well?
No.
So only in Osaka.
Yes.
And so tell me, have you do you have German colleagues at work currently?
Yes, but it's not in Japan.
Okay, so they're not in Japan.
No.
And do they come to visit on business trips? I mean, now in the pandemic, maybe not so much, but before that, did they come to visit the branch in Osaka?
Yeah, some people who is top of man in our German equipment company.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what would you say are the biggest challenges for you being a Japanese employee for a German company? That's two very different cultures. What are the challenges that you see?
So achieving results or thinking about the process as the same for both German and Japanese companies. If the results along the way are not good, the German headquarters will put pressure on us. However, we believe that when we achieve our goals, we will be rewarded beyond our expectation.
Okay. All right. That's very good. And do you sometimes see that the management style that you see from the German company that you're working with is different from Japanese companies, or is it the same?
Sorry, pardon. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Yes, the management style, how people are working, or how the company is managed, is it different than the management style in traditional Japanese companies?
Oh yes, yes. In our companies, my boss is so, and typical Japanese boss is how to say a difficult.
It's okay. You can say it partially in Japanese. No problem if
It's
you.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. そう、日本の社長は、トップダウンですね。
Okay, so the Japanese managing director or CEO of a company is always top down. So
top down,
the
yes.
hierarchy is very strict, and the orders come from the top to the bottom.
Yes. でも、ドイツの、会社は、ある程度その目標を持たせてくれて考えて、それを、実行させてくれる。
But in German companies, there is the objective, the business objective or the business goal, and they talk with you and talk about the business goal, and how you fulfill that goal or how you get to that goal, they leave it to you. So you have more responsibility on how to implement the necessary actions to achieve that business goal. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, very interesting. So you would say the hierarchy in German companies is not that as strict as it is in Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know.
interesting. And tell me, what do you wish you had known when you started working as a sales or area sales manager?
So I think we think there are two important things. The first is to respond well to requests from medical professionals. Specifically, we need to understand exactly what their problems are and respond to them as soon as possible. If we continue to respond to their requests, we will surely see results. The other is to work as a team to develop a strategy to achieve the sales target. One person's power is limited, but if they come up with ideas as a team, they can become an unimaginable power.
That's very good. I like it. So teamwork is
Yes.
important. Okay, very interesting. That's good. And how many people are in your team in the Japan office right now?
So in sales team, we are 6 people. Six. And the total it's over. I think it's 10 or 11 people.
Oh, 10 or 11
Yes.
in whole of Japan, or?
Yes.
Okay. And so the 6 people in your office, that's in Osaka, right?
So we have so one person lives in Kyushu.
Okay.
And one people is collect at Osaka branch, and my headquarters in Japan is located in Tokyo. So we are separate through Japan.
I see. So there are 3 offices within Japan.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. And so is the current market during the pandemic, is it more difficult
Yeah, it's
to
very
sell,
difficult.
or is it easier because there's more demand of the medical equipment that you're selling?
So it became very harder than before, because we normally go visit to hospital and talk with medical professionals, but now we don't have such an opportunity to talk to them. So now we sometimes organize the web seminar for them, and so now we are looking for the opportunity to sell our products.
Okay, interesting. And how long have you been working with this company?
Actually, 1.5 years.
And before that, were you also in a medical equipment company?
Yes, it was 7 years until 1.5 years ago. Yeah.
And allow me to ask, why did you switch? What was the reason for you to change your jobs?
So this is the problem between the current work and the reviewer work.
The
Review
past.
company.
Yeah.
Past company. We don't have, so they They don't contract each other anymore.
Okay.
Then I moved to the current company.
So the prior company that you used to work for 7 years, they did not have a contract for what with the
for our company. So for
Oh, now I understand. Your past company worked with your current company together.
Yes, yeah.
So they had some contract of working together. Maybe they selling the equipment of your current company as a distributor in the Japanese market. I understand. So you were at the medical manufacturer or medical equipment distributor working or distributing the German products in Japan, but the contract ended or for whatever reason, and the German company, maybe did they reach out to you? Did they ask you, hey, Yuki, do you want to work for us? Or did you apply? Did you apply for an open job position?
Yeah, correct. Perfect.
Which one? Did you apply or did they ask you?
No. They asked me.
Oh, okay, very interesting. So they must have liked you because you speak German, right?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay, that's very good. That sounds great. So tell me, it looks like you have been handpicked by them because they were interested in you working for them. What do you think is a unique skill that makes you successful at what you do?
Yeah, naturally we all have different personalities and different skills. If we make the most of our individual skills, there will be no bottleneck in the company. In my case, I have a slightly better sense of art than others. So if I design an advertisement for a seminar, the number of applicants will increase probably. Also, I mentioned earlier that it is important to meet the needs of medical professionals, but I think it's even more important to make them happy. The feeling of happiness, the feeling of happiness leads to a relationship of trust afterwards, doesn't it? Also, if you think of strategies that always prioritize making people happy, many ideas will naturally come up.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm just thinking in terms of how you are doing sales right now, because you were mentioning it's more difficult. Is there any, because you said that you liked when you moved from art to being a sales manager for medical equipment companies, that you like talking to people, that was one of the reasons why you wanted to go to the corporate world. How are you doing it now when you say you cannot go to the hospitals anymore, you cannot meet with the doctors as easily as before? How do you do your marketing and sales activities now?
Now we are making strategies with sales teams, but I think from next week we can visit to a hospital. But now the society has has kept lockdown like lockdown. So from next week we can start to tell our customers, medical professionals, whether we can visit or not. And so now, and 答えになってるかな
Yes, you're answering the question. That's okay. It's good. It's good. Yes, you are. Good. And I'm really curious about the sales process in Japan because I used to work on the other side. I used to work in purchasing, and I used to work in Japan as well. And when a sales representative would come over to sell me something, being in purchasing, they would usually come and put a catalog on the table, and I wouldn't need to say anything. I would just say, okay, have a seat, here's some green tea, and then I would just lay back and wait what they tell me. Is that the same way how you're doing sales right now? Do you bring all the catalogs and show them? Or is there a different approach on how you're doing sales in Japan at the moment?
Yes, we can start again, like you explained. So, and yeah, we visited them and gave catalogs, and yeah.
And online, did you do any online sales? Did you do any online meetings with the doctors?
No, we don't. We haven't started yet with online. Only when we use online, we only for a seminar.
So you did information seminars or
Yeah,
webinars?
information webinars. Yes. But I think if the we can't visit to them. Like 難しいね。
It's okay. No problem.
Uh,
You're doing great. You're great.
Thanks. So, but we will use for online. We will sell. We will sell with online in 1 month or 2 months. Yeah.
Okay. So but in 1 or 2 months you will sell online.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't started. We haven't started it yet.
Okay. And when you sell to a doctor, is it common to ask questions to the doctor? For example, do you ask the doctor, what do you need?
Yeah. What they are. Well, what is the problems they have?
Oh, so you ask them, what is the problem that you have?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's an important point.
Yes.
More than so otherwise we cannot sell products.
That's very good. Yes, that's what I wanted to know because from my experience, the salespeople that I worked with, they never asked for my problem. They only tried to sell me something, hoping that it will solve my problem, but they never knew what my problem is because they never asked.
Oh.
So that was my experience of sales, or how sales are done in Japan. But it's very good to hear that at your company, or maybe now over the years, the sales style has changed in Japan. And more asking for the problem and seeing if my own or the company's product can solve the problem of the client. And that, I think, facilitates the sales process a lot more.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a personal question. I'm interested in what belief, habit, or behavior has most positively impacted your life in the past 5 years. That's a favorite question that I ask all my interviewees. because I want to learn. So what habit or belief or behavior has had a positive impact on your life?
So the biggest change has been meeting and working with people who share a common idea. The common idea is idea of patient first. You may think this is obvious for a company that sells medical equipment. However, the dealership where I worked for 7 years until a year and a half ago was focused on the company's profit and loss first. Therefore, there was a limit to the improvement of service. At the company I work for now, I first think that about how we can improve our service. We still have a lot of work to do, but I feel very fortunate to be surrounded by like-minded members.
So the most positive impact on you in the past 5 years was the fact that you were surrounded by like-minded people, or that you worked as a team. So the teamwork aspect.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Very good. What about you personally, outside of work?
Sorry. Sorry. What do you mean? I'm sorry.
What habit or something, let's say, for example, 5 years ago, I started with meditation. Meso. I started with meditation. That had a very positive impact on my life. Or I try to exercise at least 3 times a week. Or I try to read at least 30 minutes per day, a book.
Okay.
That is, those are habits or behaviors. Do you have something similar that is?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I started to study on my own with web news or so books for business or something like that for my skills goes up.
Oh, so you started to study. So do you continuously work on your self-development?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And what kind of books do you read? Or
So
online, or how do you?
no, just a book.
Okay. And what kind of book do you read? About what?
For marketing
Uh-huh.
or so like so about behavior or
Psychology.
psychology also, yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very important and very important business manner or something like that.
Oh,
Yes.
that you read about business. Being Japanese, you read about business, still
Yeah,
business manner.
sure.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
I
Yeah.
used to have a manga with business manners in Japan. I think as a foreigner is very important, or as a foreigner. So how deep you make your bow when you say, depending on who you make the bow to, who has to go first in the elevator, what is the seating order in a car, if you are with your superior, if you're division
Yeah.
chief or like bucho and so on, and in the taxi, who is sitting where, and so on. So that was very interesting. So are you still learning about Japanese business manners, or what kind of business manners?
Now, no, I don't study anymore. But yes, I sometimes, yeah, how to say? Yeah, but I always thinking about. ちょっと待ってね。ごめん、エリヒ。子供が
It's
来まし
okay.
た。ちょっと待っ
No
てね。
problem, no problem.
向こうにいてくれる？ごめん、パパ今インタビュー中なの。向こうにいて、お願い。向こう行って。お願い。ね、お願い。ね。ちょっとだけ。うん。後で行くから。ダメ。喋れないから。そらちゃん、
ごめんね。
そらちゃん、ちょっと閉めて、そこ。はい。
ごめんね。
ごめん。ちょっともう一回ね、さっきの質問ください。すいません。ごめんなさい。はい、
いや、けど完璧だったよ。今
全然。
最後の質問、
さっきの最後の、今言ってたその、なんだ。
what your personal habits, what has most impacted your life, or
なんだっけな。最後にエルヒが、まあ続けてもらっていいです。
So I basically, so you were telling me about, so wait a second. So you were telling me about the books that you were reading in marketing and sales and self-development in general, psychology as well. What is your favorite book that you have read in the past year, for example?
It's I guess yeah. It's marketing. Yes.
Is it from a Japanese author?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
from a Japanese author?
Yeah. Do you know USJ, Universal Studio Japan?
Yes, of course. Yes.
And one guy.
Because they had financial difficulties, I remember in the beginning, USJ, right? And now I don't know if they are. I think they're successful. I don't know about now in the pandemic, but I remember that they had financial difficulties in the beginning when they opened.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't know on detail, but I wanted to explain you that for I think it's so 5 years ago, the USJ's economy went so down and down and down.
Yes.
And one guy joined the USJ, and he made Harry Potter's attractions. It costs like 900億円.
So something like $90 million. $90 million.
And he got the success. The economy went up every year. So, but it's not. It's not only one. So it took 3 years or 4 years to make the project. It's not only one.
Of course.
Shortage.
Interesting. And it's a book about this success, about changing the direction of Universal Studios Japan through implementing new projects and marketing.
Yeah.
And is there something that you can learn for your business or your work in this book?
Sorry?
Is there something that you can learn from that example?
Yeah, sure.
What?
Because so the important thing is thinking, continue thinking ideas.
Continuously thinking about ideas. Yes.
Yes. And he tried to think and think and think and think and think and think.
Oh, okay.
So we should yes. So I have to do every day.
Oh, okay. That sounds like in English you say TQM, which is total quality management, and in Japanese it's Kaizen, which is a continuous improvement process. Very interesting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, great. And do you have the author name of this book and the book name?
And now, sorry, I have forgot the name.
It's okay, no problem. You can send it to me later. I put it in the
yes,
show
okay.
notes. Okay. And let me ask you one last question. So maybe not the last one, but maybe one of the last. What advice would you give let's say, a foreign company that wants to do business with Japanese clients?
Okay, so Japanese people have the idea that modesty is good. I think one of the reasons for this is because of the custom of valuing hierarchical relationships. It is true that many people work as instructed so as not to offend their superiors. However, in order to survive in a global society, it should be important to present opinions and ideas without hesitation. But they are not good at it. So, at first, you may think that you don't know what they are thinking, but don't worry. It's not that they don't think anything, it's just that they don't know how to communicate well. When you are working with Japanese clients, it means that you are facing the same direction, so please take time to understand them.
So patience is your advice. Patience.
Patience? Huh?
Yes. To take time. To take time is patience. To be patient. Not patient from a hospital, but there's an adjective. To be patient means to take time.
Uh-huh.
Understand? Yes, that's very important in Japan. Good. Yuki, if people want to know more about you, if they want to reach out to you, can they get in touch with you? Do you have Facebook? Do you have Instagram, LinkedIn? How can people reach out to you?
Okay, so I don't have any Facebook or Instagrams or something like SNS. So you can ask easily to Eric.
Okay, wonderful. If somebody wants to get in touch with Yuki, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to forward his contact details. Good. And I know you're using Line, which is something like WhatsApp here in the US. In Japan, everybody's using Line, which is social media or texting platform. Good. Great. Yuki, thank you so much. I think you gave us some good insights into the Japanese medical equipment economy and your personal experience in working for a Japanese company. Is there anything else that you want to say before we go?
Yes, I wanted to say many things, but so if someone interested in me or interested in Japanese everything what you want to know, just ask me.
That means contact me so I can let you know how to contact Yuki. Wonderful.
That's right.
Perfect. Yuki, thank you so much. I appreciate you being on the show today. This was the Japan Business Show. See you all next time.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
お疲れ様です。
お疲れ様。
いやいやいやいや。ケーキ。いや、
疲れた。
いや、大丈夫。ケーキ本当にどうなの？その医療機械のケーキ悪いの？だって
いいよいいよ。
いいでしょ。
でもその業界ものによるかな。プロダクツによります。
もちろんもちろん。
オペレーションの手術のなんだ膝関節は膝のね、例えば膝のインプラントとかはすごく落ちてる。
あ、落ちてるんだ。そういう手術は遅らせてるから。
そう
みんながやっぱ我慢して膝痛くてもやっぱ病院に行きたくないとか。
行きたくない。そう。
なるほどね。はいはいはい。
だってみんなコビッドにね。
怖いから。そう。ああ、そっかそっかそっか。なるほど。 そうか、そういう場面で考えたのはもう医療関係でどこでもよかったかなって思ったのがやっぱりその緊急ではない手術がやっぱり
そうそうそうそう。
落ちてるっていうことだよね。
そうだね。
なるほど。
その代わりすごい安いその価格の安いねマスクね、が売れたりとか手袋とか、そういうディスポーザルの、商品製品っていうのはやっぱり上向いてるよね。
なるほどね。わかりました。
いや難しかった。
いやいやいや、お疲れ様です。よかったと思います。
よくないよ。ありがとう。でもすごく勉強になりました。
いやいや、こちらこそいろいろ。
すごく言いたいことは非常にたくさんあったけど、まあ英語で喋るのは難しいね。
大丈夫大丈夫。よくやったよ。よくやった。仕事関係で英語を喋る機会多い？
今はないかな。だからドイツに、行く時研修とかで行く時があるんですね。そういう時はやっぱりその英語を喋るけど、今はもうずっと日本にいるから、まあドイツがそのウェビナーをね開催した時にはその英語を聞くけれども聞く機会はあるけど話す機会はない。
わかりました。
です。はい。大丈夫ですか？うまくこう編集しといてください。
全然大丈夫です。気にしないでください。ありがとう。
なんならもうその、質問通りの答えだけにしといて。
いいよいいよいいよ。全然大丈夫大丈夫。自然でいいから。今日ありがとう本当に。あと家族にごめんをお伝えください。
いやごめんね。もうちょっとスマートにできるかなと思ったけどダメでした。ありがと
う。いや全然大丈夫です。ありがとう。本当に完璧。
はい、ありがとう。
じゃあ助かります。またぜひ。ではでは、良い週末を。
はい、ありがとう。schönes Wochenende, ne?
Schönes Wochenende. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Bye bye.
Bye.
はい。